Good morning and happy Friday, everyone. I'm not showing my face because I don't feel like showing my face this morning. But I feel like the message I have for you today is relevant. And the message is please start using the brain that God gave you. Now, my piece was interrupted because some things came across my phone. And it had to do mainly with abuse. I can understand child abuse. I understand that because children are defenseless. But when it comes to grown adults, and then those same grown adults hiding behind religion, I'm just sick of it. It seems almost like pastors these days, they focus on one thing, and that's to disparage someone who may love differently than other people. First of all, when you stand before God, He's not going to ask you about me. He's not going to ask you about nobody but you. But these same pastors justify breaking the law, and they always have waivers, modifications, and amendments. I saw an interesting news article where a pastor was arrested, convicted, and sentenced to a year and a half in jail, I guess, because he facilitated 60 scam marriages. So people could get green cards and temporary citizenship or whatever. You know that stuff is wrong. You already know that's wrong. And I'm willing to bet you anything. The first thing this man hollered, the devil is busy. No, the devil ain't busy. He's just sitting back watching you do what you do. And I'm just sick of it. And you wonder why people aren't interested in Christianity. Look at the people who are at the forefront. They're doing everything they're big enough to do, could care less about God's word, let alone lost souls. They're in it for the money. Last week, it was a pastor that basically demanded that each of his members contribute, I think it was $3,000, so he could buy a car. Let me tell you something. I thank God that He opened my eyes. I've always been wise. Always. Been given side eyes since 1963. And if you can count, that's almost 61 years. Okay? And I see people the long way. I let you be great. I don't say anything. But when it becomes just too foolish and too many people can get hurt because of your foolishness, I have to say something. And I'm just sick of it. And if I am sick of it, a person who was brought up and raised in the church, can you imagine what the world thinks? If you do nothing else, do this, please. Get to know the Lord for yourself. Study His word. Pray for understanding. Then live accordingly. Because nobody who lives and breathes like you do, that puts their clothes on just like you do, that has to expel waste from their body just like you do, can really tell you what to do. You can sit back and be dumb on purpose if you want to. But if you get in trouble, it's you standing in front of the judge, not nobody else, and you can stand there and pretend to speak in tongues. And I'm skeptical about that these days, because what is the message? I see a whole lot of people playing a whole lot of games, pretending to be stuff that they aren't. I guess that's why I get along better with worldly people. At least I know where they're coming from, instead of some of these so-called Christians. You enjoy your Friday.